All right, all right. So hello everyone, and of course welcome to the first session of the week. We are joined here with based FartAi. Now, before we get started, as per usual, of course, we're gonna proceed with my short introduction first, then of course hand over the microphone to the team for the presentation. Later on, some topics of discussion, a debate, if you will, and then we're gonna transition into some of your questions, so the community question portion of today's session. Now, for anyone that didn't have a chance to already check them out, I just wanted to say that props to you guys. The branding ed is absolutely on point. So, as you guys probably imagined, everyone currently tuning in, it is the name as it just suggests. So based FartAi, it does have some characteristics of a meme coin, but at the end of the day, it has, I would say that it differs from, let's say, a standard meme coin because they have so many upcoming utilities here, a lot of extra value for potential token holders. So I'm thinking this is something that you guys are going to be more than excited about as well. So this is where I'm just going to be tying everything together, as we are already mentioning the branding aspect and how everything just fits together perfectly. Now, I wanted to say that as I was doing my research, I had quite a lot of laughs in between. It was absolutely fantastic. The branding, and all of the puns, the wordplay, it is absolutely fantastic. And this is something that we can also kind of tie together with, of course, utilities, So as you are considering, we were talking about farting, so as you're holding your farts, as you're holding FartAi tokens, you, of course, are going to be eligible for USDC reflections. And this is one of those puns that really got me. Really, I can't laugh about it. And on top of it, for anyone that didn't have a chance to visit their website, please do so. As you just open it up, I strongly encourage you to have this open as you're tuning in the AMA and listening what we have to say and talking about basic utilities and everything regarding the project. If you visit the website and you're just kind of hovering through your mouse, the cursor, it's essentially gas. So it is green gas, and you're essentially farting as you are, just scrolling through your mouse, which is perfect. I had a laugh about this as well, and it was absolutely fantastic. So the branding ed is on point. And of course, extra utilities, we already did have a chance to mention regarding the USDC reflections. Now, you as a token holder for, potential contributors to the fair launch, maybe even if you decide to, buy the token once it's going to be live on a DEX here, you have quite a lot of extra utilities. So it's not only USDC reflections, you also can stake your tokens. You have the Fart Agent AI, which essentially is a treasury bot. We're going to, of course, have a discussion regarding it later on as we're progressing to the debate aspect of today's session. But yeah, this is probably 5 or 10% of the things available. There's quite a lot of more things, something that I'm personally excited to be talking about as well. And just to help things be as short as possible, I'm probably just rambling on and on as it is. Just wanted to transition into the reminder for your fair launch, considering that it is taking place today. So at 6 p.m. UTC sharp, just a little bit under 3 hours to go. You guys, of course, have the link to the fair launch on the AMA announcement. So we did forward in our main chat once again. It is also the last pin message, so everything is hassle-free for you all, just like we like, right? It's kind of like a funny sentence here. But yeah, everything's there. And if we by chance can't cover all of the community questions, which is, usually the case, do make sure to also join your Telegram before your fair launch starts, just so the team can get you sorted ASAP with, anything else that you might want to know here. But yeah, Chris, entertainer, I apologize for taking so much time with the introduction, but as you can probably tell, I'm genuinely very excited for today's session. It is an absolute pleasure to have you both here. Now, if you don't mind, just for starters, providing a little bit of background information about yourself. So, kind of like an introduction so the community gets to know you. And then feel free to just tie it together to the entire ecosystem. So what is Based FartAi all about, how everything got started, utilities, everything that you want the listeners to know. And then we're going to have a discussion regarding all the utilities and things to look forward to as well. Thank you for bearing with me for the long introduction. It is a pleasure, and the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Rainland, wow. That's an intro, man. I need your energy pills. Holy cow.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Right. I'll introduce myself. My name is The Entertainer. I am a designer by trade. I've been designing for over 25 years, a creative director in various companies that I've owned myself or have been a part of. That is my strongest skill set, is designing, obviously not speaking. I got involved with this project as a team member because I became part of the team through previous projects from the same development team. So I started as an investor, like a lot of people do, and it turned into far more than that, because when I get involved, I put everything I have in it. The development, the design, the team in general saw that in me, and they invited me in. And ever since then, I've I've redesigned our USA token website. We'll talk about that a little bit. I've designed our UGC, our gold coin site and project, and of course, FartAi. So I'm glad that you like the site. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be serious at the same time. So I'm glad you saw both sides of that. But that's my story, how I'll get in. I'll let Chris say his spiel and get us kicked off as well.
Yeah, that was awesome introduction there. I like that a lot. Yeah, I've been part of this team for a while. Same thing as entertainer. I started off as an investor with John from WPT days, and then yeah, we just deployed a few tokens here and a few projects, and yeah, I mean, excited to be part of this. And I'm myself. My background is I'm a blue collar worker. I'm a flooring installation business. I ran my own business since 2007. In Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I have not, like you can tell, most of us are on the team are completely and thoroughly doxxed. We have zero issues telling who we are, what we do. But yeah, I mean, this is just how I've gotten part of this team, and it's a great team, and new guys have come in, like entertainers come in recently, and we got another guy that's come in recently, and it's yeah, it's been fun. I'm definitely looking forward to everything we have coming up and everything that we have planned here. So it's going pretty good here.
Perfect. Just wanted to say much appreciated for the introduction from the both of you here. Of course, thank you for the kind feedback as well. Greatly appreciate that. And yeah, as entertainer, as you did mention, yeah, I think that you guys absolutely did a fantastic job. I know that I already did include this in the intro, but yeah, as you mentioned, just kind of capturing the spirit between, both being funny as well as serious. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I think that anyone out of the people tuning in, if they did have a chance to just scroll for the website, even for a minute or two, they probably noticed the gist of it as well. So yeah, greatly appreciate that. And for us to continue here now, this is usually I don't give chances, right? But here I'm just gonna provide this as kind of like an alternative, right? So if you guys would like to just provide some useful information as far as, let's say a quick rundown on utilities and what token holders can expect, I can just turn over the microphone to you. And if you'd like to approach this more so along the lines of, let's say, if I just provide the topics of discussion and we do a rundown of utilities like that, we can also do them. However you'd prefer. I'm just kind of giving you alternatives here.
Sure, appreciate that. I think between Chris and I, we can kind of give a spiel that should, I think, cover everything. But if not, that's of course where the AMA side of it comes in. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem at all. So yeah, you can just proceed with kind of like a presentation part, and then we're basically just gonna do a deeper dive with everything that you're gonna be mentioning, just so we cover absolutely all of the ground. So yeah, go for it, and I appreciate it.
Sure, Chris. Did Chris get disconnected?
Yeah, I was 100% sure that it was my connection at first, but yeah. Chris, I think that usually, Telegram tends to bug every so often. And since I do see you unmuted here, I think it's best, usually it works, it's best if you just try to reconnect. So just leave the chat, rejoin it, it should be all good. Usually it works.
We're good?
Yep, you're good.
We're good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say John Menjivar, he's our lead developer, lead guy for the project and everything. He couldn't be here. He's up in New York right now. He's literally on the ground trying to finalize a major deal that we have for the USA official ecosystem. USA is basically our mother token and everything on everything. So but yeah, he's basically jumped in a car, and he was supposed to be here, but he's still in the car driving up there, and yeah, he's our lead dev. So, but anyways, today's is about FartAi agent here. So let's dive into the FartAi. Obviously, our team, we've been involved in a number of pretty successful launches and projects. Some fun, some serious, but always in a mind for sustainability and transparency. We always definitely want to be as very transparent with everything we're doing, and we try to make sure that we're obviously not trying to do anything bad here. But when we started building out the USA ecosystem, we had a vision for something way bigger than just another token launch. We wanted to create a set of utility-driven tokens that each did their job while feeding back into a larger system that reward patience and participation. This is where FartAi comes in. At face value, yeah, it's a meme. It's got FartAi in it, so it's kind of impossible to say FartAi without having a bit of a smile on your face. So that's why we kind of went with that name. But what we built under the hood is something we're genuinely proud of. This is a smart contract that pays you USDC passively. It also feeds into our treasury agent. We call it the FAAI, which is FartAi agent, that uses transaction taxes to build yield through strategies like staking and supports our broader USA infrastructure. So basically, every buy and sell, 3% goes straight to holders as USD reflections, and 3% goes into the FAAI, our treasury, which puts that money to work. That's the beauty of it. No staking, no claiming, just gas in, value out. Why now? Market's heating up. Alt season's right around the corner. Meme coins are doing numbers again. You've got tokens called the cat farts doing 5 times, but most of them don't have anything real behind them. No real plan, no real roadmap, definitely no tie into something bigger. We do. FartAi is just one of 10 utility tokens in the USA ecosystem, each with a specific functioning. And yes, this is one job that to make people laugh and make people money, but it also sends part of every transaction into our co-token USA official, helping build and sustain the floor as we go. So you're not just betting on FartAi, you're investing in the entire ecosystem and getting paid while you wait. So that's just basically the introduction into FartAi. Entertainer, if you want to add anything else.
Sure. So a lot of people want to know about tokenomics. A lot of people really are serious about it. Some don't care so much. They just want a lower market cap to get in. But our total supply is 69,420,000 because, yeah, why not? 69 million.
As it should be, right? As it should be.
As it should be. I mean, if you're looking at like proper numbers, you're not a meme. Let's be honest. So our pre-sale, we're looking at 31.8 million. Our liquidity is 16.2 million. We have a very low soft 10 ETH. Didn't have a problem hitting that. And our estimated market cap at launch is right at 71,000. And our liquidity is locked for 6 months. So we're launching straight to Uniswap after the pre-sale wraps, which will be within a week, with 7 days. So we're locking it up tight. We've renounced the contract. We've got an experienced team that's been around the block, and there's no mystery dev. John, I wish you could be here, but as Chris said, he is literally right now. I saw a screenshot right as we started. He's on the phone there locally with a guy and attorneys working out some projects we can't talk about right now, but they're seriously big, and they're seriously big for the USA ecosystem. And again, this is Fart Agent AI. This is base Fart, and this is one of our utility tokens, one of 10 of our utility tokens for the USA ecosystem. So it has a purpose and it has a need. And the fact that it has rewards are big right now. I mean, it seems like everywhere I look now, there's some type of reward system, and that's good. It helps to sustain a project. And when you have a project that is sustaining itself, but it's also a utility to help sustain another, it has a dual purpose. But that's just the breakdown for the tokenomics. But so the USD reflections. So you buy, you earn, you sell, you earn. You don't have to stake, farm, or touch a thing. The smart contract handles all of that for you. Just hold on, and you'll get the rewards in a stable coin. So it's passive value. Our Fart Agent AI Treasury, we can get into that a little bit more in details a little bit later, but we use it to grow the project's sustainability by allocating into staking strategies and helping to support the USA token from the inside. And it's not just the treasury for the sake of it; it's actually being used. And third is our structure. Like site one, the roadmap is clear, the tokenomics are balanced. We're not reinventing crypto here. We're just trying to give people something that's fun and fair. It's kind of as simple as that. But everything's visible, everything's traceable. The blockchain, blah blah blah. You've heard it 100 times. I won't even go into it. But everything we've built, we've built it to last. But we could crack jokes all day long and make fart sounds. No big deal. Everybody's got a button for that nowadays. But we are serious about what we're putting in place. The ecosystems that we're building is layered. It's only getting stronger, and FartAi is just part of that. It's not the whole thing, but it's a key piece. So to anyone that's just kind of tuning in today, if you're looking for something that's early, something that rewards patience, and something that actually feeds into something larger, I'd give this one a closer look.
Perfect. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for all the relevant information here. And if you don't mind, of course, as you are kind of mentioning regarding the utilities, everything that we can expect, things to look forward to as well. I do have some add-ons to the topics here, and I think it makes perfect sense just, not only for our discussion here, but also for the listeners tuning in, and we just dissect this utility by utility, So first and foremost, just you guys are going to quickly realize that I like to provide quite a lot of feedback as we are having sessions here, more so a debate as opposed to just, thank you for the answers. We're going to continue. So yeah, first and foremost, I completely agree. Something you're just giving back to the people. And I completely agree with you, entertainer, as you were mentioning that, let's say reward tokens are currently very popular. Yeah, I 100% agree. And it's something that, a lot of people can basically get behind, because who would not want to have USDC reflections as you just do nothing? You just invest, and it is as simple as that. We already, obviously mentioned the fact that this is something that's going to be done automatic, which is, perfect, especially due to, if I ever had, let's say, not really reflections, but more so something that has to do more on the staking side of things, I completely forget about it. Even if I'm accumulating funds, I always forget to claim, either it be reflections that are, manual to do, or, just staking of the tokens. And this is, exactly how things should be. Everything that is, even if, and I think this makes perfect sense because it's something, people can relate to. It is funny, like you mentioned at the end of the day. And it is ultimately something that, people can just invest, and you can just forget about it. You're going to be earning passive income, and it is as simple as that. So yeah, love it. Love the vibes here today. And I did just want to mention, since we basically did an entire rundown regarding, specifically the USDC rewards here, as let's say, as part of the first discussion regarding the first utility here, I did just want to ask you to regarding any potential requirements. So I assume, because this is something that coincidentally I don't think that I noticed on the website and documents that you're offering, and if you do have it stated there, I sincerely apologize, but I'm just not sure regarding if there's a minimum threshold, considering, again, I didn't see that you need to, fulfill this and that requirement as far as the minimum tokens that you need to hold. I assume that everyone is eligible for the, USDC reflections, but figured I'd just ask you before we continue.
Well, that's a great question, and I myself am not the technical side of this. John is the tip of the spear when it comes to that. Then again, Chris may have that information. I don't, but I think the holders must maintain a minimum of $50 worth of FartAi. I'm pretty sure that's it. But Chris, do you have any more details on that?
I'm pretty sure you're correct on that. I think it's just it's a small amount. It's not like it's a huge amount that you have to hold. But I think you're correct on that one. Just like you said, it's a shame that John couldn't be here, but he is dealing with some other things that were very, very vitally important to our whole project. So I mean, that's he's the more the technical side, so he could answer that question. But I'm pretty sure that with the discussions we've had, I agree with Entertainer. I'm pretty sure it's at least $50.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you very much. And, at the end of the day, even if it's, because this is something, as we're talking about specific numbers, whether it be, qualifying for reflections or anything really that has to do with token amount, that is, ultimately, I'd say at the end of the day, something that you can tweak as you go. Obviously speaking, if you guys are going to be pumping the token, at the end of the day, you can tweak numbers as you go just to not keep it too exclusive. So yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. And it is tweakable at the end of the day. I did just want to transition since, obviously we talked about the USDC reflections, and something that I vividly remember with just scrolling through the website is the fact that you have an upcoming, if I'm not mistaken, rewards dashboard as well. And a fairly simple one here as well. Just what exactly is all the, let's say, information that it's going to be offering to participants? I assume that this is because, obviously everyone likes statistics, obviously like to see how much, in this case, USDC you're earning along the way. So it's definitely something that I assume is going to be, part of the rewards dashboard here, because it's something that, if you're excited, obviously you're going to be telling other people that, I earned this and that amount of USDC from reflection of this token. And this is where I think that the rewards dashboard is going to make absolutely perfect sense. But yeah, just, interested about more information if you, of course, kept those on hand here.
Well, I'll try to touch on that. So the idea is pretty simple. We wanted a centralized place where the holders can track exactly what they're earning, so they're not hunting around their wallets trying to decipher random decimals and things like that. So you'll be able to log in, connect your wallet, and immediately see how much USDC you've earned through reflections, your current FartAi balance, of course, any eligibility status, meaning that $50 minimum, that I'm pretty sure it's $50 minimum you have to earn these rewards. And any upcoming partner airdrops. If you look through the white paper, it's called FartAi. Okay. And eventually, whatever else that we're layering into the ecosystem over time as well will be part of the DApp. But we're building this dashboard with a focus on the clarity and the performance and real-time updates. And also the dashboard is you can flex your earnings, though, it wasn't meant for that, but you can certainly do that. But it'll help us plug in new features over time, like the Fart Agent AI treasury snapshots, potential loyalty discounts. There's so much that could potentially be available to us, but we get it. A project name like base FartAi might sound like it's all jokes, but the tech and the tools that we're building, those are pretty serious. And you'll see what we mean when the dashboard goes live.
Perfect. Much appreciated. Thank you very much, Entertainer. And I completely agree with you. All fun and jokes, but at the end of the day, it definitely shows that you guys are all about tech as well. And yeah, greatly appreciate it. I think that it makes perfect sense for us to also transition into the actual Fart agent here, right? Something that we already have a chance to talk about in, more so in your presentation here. And I think this is something that just, puts it kind of like a cherry on top with everything that you're offering here. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about just a little bit of useful information regarding the entire USA ecosystem as well. But specifically since, obviously, we had a chance to discuss regarding the, kind of like, I'm going to say, a portion of the taxes as you're, trading your FartAi token, considering that a portion of that is going to go towards funding USDC reflections and the other portion towards the Fart Agent AI, which is kind of like, once again, a treasury bot here. I'm just wondering, since the primary use case in this is, of course, if I understood you correctly, and of course, if I did my research correctly, the primary use case here is, of course, accumulating USA tokens, right? So from the USA ecosystem, as you already talked about, the primary ecosystem, I should say, in this case. I'm just wondering, considering that you already talked about, let's say partnered airdrops as well. It just brings me to the question with the Fart Agent AI, if this is the only thing that the treasury bot would be used towards, or are you kind of thinking about diversifying the portfolio? Either, I don't know, let's say having the majority of the tokens to support the USA ecosystem, and maybe if you find either partners, maybe a credible project along the way, that you would then diversify the portfolio, so maybe the treasury grows even more, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and I think that's a perfect way to look at opportunity. And if there's anything I've learned in crypto, is that opportunities come and go quickly. You got to act on them quickly. So as long as we're set up for partnerships and able to be agile enough to build those in, work them in, then it only makes sense to partner with people that make sense for the token itself and in the overall ecosystem that we're in. Hopefully that answers your question there.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Thank you very much. And just an add-on, since, usually I have a bunch of add-ons, so I do apologize if I'm being too specific here. Okay, awesome. But throughout this, considering, and something we already mentioned as well, is, treasury, and I think that you provided a perfect example with just, opportunities come and go. And obviously speaking, since the main goal here is to just, you can kind of treat it as a, two-factor thing. One thing is, of course, supporting either, the USA ecosystem and, of course, opportunities, maybe partner tokens. And at the end of the day, let's say 50-50. The other goal is, of course, expanding, growing the treasury. So it just brings me to the question. So obviously speaking, you are supporting the token. So it's probably going to be 50-50, kind of, I would say, a healthy balance. Obviously speaking, if tokens that you're going to be holding, so let's say holdings of the treasury bot here, obviously we're going to want to realize some profit, not just, dumping everything, but just taking some profit along the way. So the treasury either grows or just has realized profit along the way. And for that, considering that the funding of the treasury bot is going to be, if cards are played correctly, and I assume they're going to be played correctly, the treasury is going to be growing, right? And I'm just curious to know, with this, I'm going to kind of treat it like an extra revenue stream for you guys. I'm just wondering if this is something that's already been discussed about how this is going to be used towards. So, I would say that it makes perfect perfect sense for you guys to have this as your very own revenue stream for, further developments, maybe funding of other tokens associated with the USA ecosystem, as opposed to maybe, I don't know, having an extra, I'm going to say, a revenue share program, considering that there's already USDC reflections for the holders, right? So just kind of curious to know how that's going to be used towards.
What a great question, or a multi-step question. Well, first of all, 10% of the FartAi supply is allocated to the USA reserve wallet. So as we are buying and selling, these taxes are going to fund both the USD rewards, but also into the treasury itself. So that means that the allocation is going to be locked and untouched and not in circulation, not for team use. But we do have part of our tokenomics are already supply for marketing, and it makes sense. I mean, if you can't continuously market, you're not helping to push the narrative. You're not being in front of people. And yes, as any chart grows, you're supposed to be taking off, skimming a little bit so that you can put it back into the system so that you can keep this perpetually moving. And it, of course, it's under full transparency. It's on the blockchain. You'll be, we talk about it anytime that we spend money, and we're pushing bots, we're pushing volume. And let's be honest, anytime you have a rewards-based system that's based off of a buy-sell tax, it lives and dies by volume. So our goal is to make sure that the volume stays top-notch, stays pushing, because that's what's going to drive this project and help drive other projects that are part of our ecosystem.
Perfect. Now, once again, I do appreciate it. And most of all, not only for the answer, but for the transparency, because at least to me, it makes perfect sense that, of course, you need, not even an extra revenue stream, but you need a revenue stream to begin with. And I think this makes perfect sense. But I do appreciate the transparency, just providing all the relevant information that not only myself, but also other potential holders that are, of course, present on the session would want and need as well. So thank you very much, Entertainer. And what I wanted us to dive into as well as, I did mention that we're going to be talking about the, USA ecosystem in general a little bit more as well. And this, I think, makes sense just so participants can actually understand how this, fits in the ecosystem and, of course, other tokens associated with the USA ecosystem. So just wondering, and this is something that not only I'd assume that a few participants on the AMA session today would be wondering as well, but I'm more so curious. We already mentioned, let's say, the role of FartAi and how it's, of course, is going to be supporting the entire USA ecosystem. But what I'm more so curious about is considering we already talked about the fact that this, so base FartAi, is one of the 10 upcoming utility tokens. So I'm just kind of, just wondering how this will work. So will all 10 tokens will all be supporting the USA ecosystem, let's say individually, just like the base FartAi with, I don't know, either taxes that would be, of course, supporting the USA token, or will the tokens that are kind of part of the entire ecosystem, so all 10 of them, if they will have let's say, a separate utility that will still make sense for it to be in the ecosystem, but completely different, just like base FartAi?
100% correct. Every utility token that we have is completely unique. Some are gamified, some are just rewards, and some are on different networks just to make sure that we're reaching different parts of the blockchain ecosphere, because we know that there are loyalists. We know that there are base loyalists, Sol loyalists, BNB, and we want to make sure that we're reaching out to all of them, which could very well include down the road wormholes between them and between projects. We've discussed a lot of that. That's too technical for my understanding, but it's been in conversations for a very long time. But yes, every token is a tie-in to the overall ecosystem of the USA token, of the official USA token. So they all have their unique traits. They're all different, but they will all, as you'll see over time, FartAi is the outlier here from a let's say from a not a meme, but from a standpoint of consolidation and the feel. Like we're looking at everything quote unquote USA related. I mean, we're using terms like the treasury and things of that nature. We're going to have something related to the Gulf of America. Everything is going to have its own tie-in, but it'll all make sense individually. So even if nobody understands or hears about another token, they don't understand the hierarchy or the involvement of this utility token for the USA ecosystem, they'll see it as its own little cool thing. And hopefully, as most people like here through AMAs, they will learn about the grander picture of the USA token and become involved with that and become involved with our other tokens themselves and really kind of see it all working in motion together.
Yeah,
awesome, perfect. I was just sorry, Chris, go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna tie into that. I mean, every project will have its own thing. Like it's not like every project will just be feeding into the USA and that's it, and that's what it's there for. No, every token you'll be able to make money off of. Like it's gonna have its own individual sense to it, and it's gonna be like we're definitely not gonna make a project that just completely and utterly feeds into the USA ecosystem. It'll just be there'll be a certain small amount of percentage that will feed into the mother token, but yeah, I mean every project will have its own details and its own intricate utilities and everything that we'll be offering, and make sure that every project can stand on its own two legs as we as it goes. So
perfect. Now, just a little bit of my feedback, then we're going to go into the last topic of discussion. And then, of course, we're going to hand over the microphone to some of the community questions just so we can cover the majority of the ground. But yeah, Chris, Entertainer, thank you very much. Just a little bit of my feedback here. I think that this, I'm very excited about all of the tokens, but not only that, considering that I think Entertainer, you mentioned this, having different tokens on different networks, this is the way to go, I'd say. Not that I'm an expert, but just, kind of like an investor, an AMA host in this case, I would just say that it makes perfect sense considering that, ultimately, as you mentioned, the USA ecosystem being the, let's say, number one, the primary, and of course having 10 multiple tokens that would be, of course, supporting the USA ecosystem. It's the perfect way for people to kind of get to know the USA ecosystem with different networks. You're not just tied to base. You can do, I don't know, as you mentioned, BSC, maybe Solana, so many choices. And of course, all of the networks that are kind of like top 10, let's say, of course, there's a lot of users, a lot of volume on it. So I think it makes perfect sense. And I do appreciate the transparency on this as well. But yeah, I think that we pretty much discussed everything that I personally wanted to know. So before opening up the floor to the community questions, just a little bit of a, let's say, rundown of the roadmap. So things to look forward to, maybe something that we potentially missed during our discussion here today. But once again, Chris and Entertainer, you two have been absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate the hype. I appreciate the transparency. So if there's anything that you feel like we've missed today, anything else that you want the listeners to know, and if not, just kind of like a roadmap, things to look forward to, anything that's worthy of mentioning before we open up the floor to the community questions as well.
Sure. I think we've kind of talked about everything, but just kind of quickly, we've talked about the FartAi agent expansion. We're making it smarter, more active. It will be involved with staking strategies, deeper integration into the USA overall ecosystem, and performance via the rewards dashboard. And the dashboard itself, launching that with a nice clean UA to be able to track those reflections in real time, view partner project rewards, monitor the share of their Fart Agent AI earnings. You've got the cross token utility integration where the new tokens aren't just in silos. Each one will be connected and shared to the USA reward pool and the smart treasury logic that we have, and a reputation system for holders. The sky's the limit at that point. We have a coordinated marketing ecosystem. That's one of the things that a lot of projects live and die by is their marketing, which we talked about, and we have set up pre-sale marketing, pre-sale marketing, and post-sale marketing. So we've got that under control, and we're constantly building that out. So it's always something to think about for that roadmap. The DApp, the ecosystem centralization, the utilities, the dashboards, the token functions, all of that's tied to your wallet. Like I said, we've got gamification stuff coming up as well down the road. The ecosystem is transparent. It's security ridden. We're taking it very seriously, and roadmaps to some are short and sweet, some are overly saturated with promises, and I think we have a roadmap that's achievable and true. And as long as everything works out properly, we're all going to be having a good time doing this.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. If you have anything to add now, is the time for you to do so. And if not, we can just transition into the community questions as well. I will take it.
You can just go to the
Okay.
Sorry, I'm getting phone calls here, so that's kind of screwed me up. All good.
All good, all good. All right, so Chris and Sustainer, once again, you two have been absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate the discussion here today. I appreciate the hype, the transparency, absolutely everything. So yeah, I'm going to wish you the best of luck later on, because now we have to transition into those community questions, so you guys know how this goes. The first one is going to be on the hot seat. Brain Twister, you're going to be the first participant on the hot seat, so you know how this goes. Better make your questions count, better make them great ones. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far, and the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hello, Rhineland. It's been a long time, brother. How you doing?
Doing absolutely fantastic. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing great. So glad to be on GemPad speaking to you guys again. And I'm so glad I actually caught this AMA. I've been following the USA ecosystem for a while, from the very first sale at, Big Sale, and how they did things. I have to say I'm very impressed. They proved to be one of the honest teams out there, and I'm happy they came over to GemPad to do their second raise for the FartAi. Now, on to my question, actually. It's basically about the whole idea behind the FartAi. Obviously, you have to keep building out your ecosystem. That's a given. But you're putting 6%, what do they call it, tax on your token right now on base, which is understandable. But at the same time, you have hundreds of tokens coming out every day. Most of them are no tax. And I'm looking at it from an outsider perspective. I know the token, I know the team, I know they're honest, I know they're hardworking, I know they deliver. But from an outsider perspective, I see a token, maybe fresh or a week old, 2 weeks old. It's doing well, but it's 6% tax either way. And I see another token that's free, no tax. You definitely know the one I'll be choosing. So I'm just wondering how the team plans to hold the project, get that retention, what they call it, holder retention in, while at the same time moving the project forward. Because you can't just keep doing marketing on and on. There's going to be a time that your marketing does not give you that ROI, and you still need to keep pushing forward. So what's the game plan for all of this? And is it possible in the future that maybe you reduce the tax?
Hey, appreciate the question, Brain Twister. So the smart contract is locked. We won't be able to modify the percentage, right? But it's a great question. And you're right. 6% seems like a hurdle at first. But here's the thing: like, every bit of the tax is going to real work. So 3% goes straight to the holders in USDC. No other token, not claimable, just auto paid. The other 3% of the FAAI treasury engine, which isn't sitting idle, if you will, it's being put to work in liquidity staking and used to buy back USA tokens. So the ROI isn't just in price action, it's kind of baked into the mechanics. So no tax token offers, no tax token often rely on hype alone. We actually have a built system that rewards the patient and let that value loop. So plus, a lot of no tax tokens bleed out pretty quickly. So we're aiming for the stickiness, the rewards, and the ecosystem feedback. That's the retention plan.
Plus as well on other like tax tokens and stuff like that. At least with ours, you understand where the money's going to, and you understand what's going on with it. A lot of those tokens that do get taxes and stuff like that, like, they just go to the team, and the team decides what they do with it. If they pull it out and just pay themselves, or if they use it for, marketing or whatever, whatever they need to use for the project. So then you got to, with transparency there, you got to worry about what they're actually doing with that fund. With us, it's like entertainers said, it's locked and renounced, so we can't change anything, we can't do anything with it. But at least exactly where that 3% is going into USDC, and that 3% is going to Fart Agent AI, and you'll be able to track what the Fart Agent is doing with those funds, and you'll be able to see everything. So with transparency, you'll be able to see exactly what's going on with that tax money.
No, I completely get it. And I don't think you understand what I'm getting at. I know you guys, okay? I've been with you guys since USA. So if anyone tells me you guys are going to fuck it up, I'm going to tell them no, because I know what you guys are capable of. But I'm talking about from an outsider perspective. You understand? And along the lines, I've already read through the whole thing. I know what's up because I've followed you guys literally up until this point. So I know how far you've come. I've known the work you put in. The only thing I'm saying is along the line, volume dies, things happen. And I know we have the FAAI, but that now generates money for yield. But we all know the percentages on that is not really substantial enough for you to be able to sustain a project day in, day out. So what's the game plan aside from that?
Aside from what I'd already kind of gone over, you know, the tax, you say from an outside perspective, meaning suggesting rather that somebody hasn't done their due diligence, hasn't looked into it. I can't speak for that, you know, and I don't want to say this word negatively, but, you know, ignorance doesn't really help anybody. So I have to assume that either somebody hears the hype, feels the hype, sees an ad, clicks on it, sees a banner, whatever, gets involved, and then does research, or they've done their research first and makes the proper decision to hop in then because they see what's happening, they see the community's lively, and they see the marketing that's behind it. So from the outside looking in, yes, 6% tokens can feel heavy compared to a 0% one. But what we're doing differently. So first, the tax, it isn't random, right? It's purpose built. It half goes straight into the holders of USDC, yada yada. We've already talked about that, but we know things that you know, things don't stay hot forever. Volume slows. You know, that's just the truth. So what's the plan at that point? So it's layered, right? I mean, we're integrating with partner tokens in the USA ecosystem. We're building out dApps, and we're expanding to bring inbound utility, not just outbound hypeness. So we've got nine more tokens coming out, and all feed the same machine. So that's the long-term liquidity support, and it gives our treasury a job even when trading volume cools down. So yeah, it's tax, but it's also a circular engine. So if no volume, yeah, the engine, you know, kind of kicks in, and when their volume comes back, it amplifies everything else. So it's not short-term fireworks, right? It's more of a larger architecture that's involved.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I guess we just got to watch you guys roll things out. I really hope you guys pull it off, man. I mean, from the time I saw you all till now, it's just been one step after the other. You guys have been pushing. So I really appreciate all the love and the work you guys have put in. Renland, thank you so much for the opportunity, man. I'll be catching you later.
Brain Twister, thank you for the questions.
Appreciate the question, Brain Twister, and it's always nice to see, you know, positive feedback here as well. So that is awesome. Perfect first question. And yeah, let's keep it moving. So the next one up on the floor is going to be Les Kempachi. Hopefully you're having an awesome day so far as well. And the floor is all yours. Welcome. Kempachi, are you with us? And if you are, you're speaking on mute, just so you know. Okay, we're gonna wait for a couple of seconds, and if not, we can just return to you. No issue at all. Okay, then we are gonna take Miyagi for. Oh wait, are you here?
I am. I'm sorry. There was a permission error for my end. New device.
No problem. No problem. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi there, team. I just get off with what Brendan said earlier. The website is beautiful. I have tested it both on a phone and a laptop, and the cursor thing, right? The fart thing. It is fabulous on both of them, right? So if somebody who is listening has not checked it out on either of the devices, please do. That is something you can incorporate if you are a developer. That is a beautiful thing. Coming to the questions about how is this going to work? I heard that $50 is going to be the minimum thing that you have to hold to get into it. Will that be logged in? Let's say, since it's a volume token, reward token, so it is based on volume, market cap will go up and down regularly. Let's say I bought at 1 million market cap and the market cap goes down to 800K. The value of my token won't be $50 anymore. Will I still be rewarded, or I'll have to DCA there?
Kempachi, wow, what a great question. And that is one that's just above my technical experience because that's part of the smart contract itself. I want to lean on Chris for this one. Chris?
Is Chris here or? He rejoined.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah, the issue was I think he got muted again along the way. So, Chris, you're once again unmuted, so it should be fine now.
Yeah, sorry, I had another business call that came on, so.
Yeah, just sorry for cutting you off, but just so you guys see to prove that the team mean business, business call in the middle of the AMA session. So let's go.
My understanding, and this is again, I'm being transparent. I'm not that smart of a guy. But to answer your question, we have a $50 minimum, like USD value to hold in FartAi to qualify for the reflections. So to keep the system clean, right? The rewards are going to the actual holders and not just like dust wallets. So if the volume dips and your holdings fall below the $50 rewards minimum requirement, it's the rewards will pause. I mean, it's just you're not filling the requirement, so it will pause, and until you can fill it up yourself, or the volume goes back up, or the market cap goes back up, and you're holding $50 worth at that point, it'll trigger the payouts to start once you've gotten back to that threshold. But that's my understanding of it, to be entirely honest.
I understand that, Chris. There are two ways that I have a bit of experience with reward tokens for the last 6 months, sort of. I've been working a lot with it. So my experience is there are two ways to go with it. Like, one is that you put a minimum amount that like you have set $50. The other is minimum amount of tokens. In the later part, the benefit is that if the prices go up and down, you still have the minimum amount of tokens held. Hence, it sort of creates a FUD, right? In a way. So that is one of the things you can look into. Other thing is the distribution interval. How often would the distribution be? Since you are the tech guy here, what sort of interval are you looking at? 1 hour, 5 minutes?
That's another great question. I wish I had that. You know what? I should have had both of those questions on the ready. I should have known that. I put that on me. That's my fault. Chris, do you have any insight into that?
No, that's kind of on John's end.
Yeah, that's a John thing. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't talked to him about the technical aspects either. So sorry, I don't have that answer for that question. But yeah.
Here's what I'll do. I'll find that out. I'll find that. I'll find out the.
Sure,
the
no problem.
I'll
just join the teaching and I'll try to get you.
I'll be posting the answer in our Telegram.
Yeah, sure. And one last thing on the. Yeah. All right. Thank you. One last thing. On the roadmap, on the third phase, you said that tune FAAI will be based on real-world trade data. You'll be tune something in that. What does that mean?
So
that is roadmap phase 3.
Yeah, that's part of the roadmap itself. The idea that so real-world trade data takes into a lot of account lots of things. That could be anything from the weather. That could be anything from the political view at the moment, and certainly how traditional stocks are performing, and it could be additionally based off of the BTC dominance. All of that is part of the AI logic and the AI calculations. I'm not a computer; I don't understand it, but I do know that the idea is to incorporate as much AI knowledge into making these trades and stakes and whatnot. At that point, you're asking some really good technical questions. I'll have to give you that.
Then I was just Rainman hyped it so much that I had to give it another shot to understand what is all happening. So yeah, I sort of read through it all and understand that it doesn't really, sadly, is that since the AI function in this token right now is just for distribution and nothing else as far I've read and understood. So integrating all that just doesn't matter. Seems like much into it, but I'll look forward to it when it comes to phase 3. Thank you for your time, both of you, and thank you, Rillins.
Absolutely. Thank you for your questions. Great.
Thank you very much, Kapachi. All right, we're gonna keep it moving to Zoe. Zoe, hopefully you have an awesome day so far as well, and the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm also good. Thanks for giving.
What is up with Telegram today? Zoe, we lost you.
Yeah, great.
And I think that's every single time it's the same thing with Telegram. Because, as we're waiting for Zoe to get back, and if not, we're just going to transition into another community question. But yeah, just wanted to say, I don't know, Entertainer and Chris, how you two get along with Twitter, but I hate Spaces. I hate Spaces so much because they have been bugging every single time that I join a Twitter space, but apparently Telegram's no better. So yeah, pick your poison, I guess.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, you're basically just in time. So awesome, yeah.
Okay. Exploring community involvement in decision making and safeguard against governance manipulation. Have you got it?
I honestly, I didn't understand the question, Zoe. I apologize. Could you try that again?
Exploring community involvement in decision making and safeguard against governance manipulation.
I got it,
asking
Entertainer. If I decode, it's no problem.
Okay, please. That'd be helpful.
Yeah, so it's okay. So I can't exactly repeat it word for word, but I think that Zoe is asking something along the lines of if there is going to be community involved in the decision-making process, and something along the lines of manipulation for governance, I think.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you're talking more like a DAO style for votes and things of that nature. That's not something that's in our initial plans, and that could be something that comes out later as part of the DApp, and you know how much you own of the tokens and things of that nature for doing certain things. But our core mission is locked in stone as far as moving forward and our phases. Could something like that come up? Possibly, maybe. I don't know. The real answer is I don't know, but it wasn't designed for that. So, we built this out with the long game in mind. So as the project matures, the community involvement, we'll play a bigger role, especially when it comes to things like treasury allocations, partner project onboarding, how we roll out future utilities, and even this DAO style of vote for certain proposals. But right now, while we're still laying the foundation, are a little bit more centralized, so we can move fast and smart. But as stability grows, we're planning to open up things gradually but meaningfully to the community governance, if you will. So yeah, let's say it's on the roadmap, but it's not just one of these you buy, we decide. We do want holder feedback, and we want holders to step up and help give us ideas and suggestions. We're always open to those things, but it's certainly not currently a DAO style project.
Thanks for answering me. Best of luck for your project, bro.
Thank you very much, Zoe.
Thank you for the question, Zoe. Oh, by the way, Entertainer, did you ever work at a radio station? I know it's a random question.
It's not random. I get that. No.
He gets that all the time.
I really do. I used to stream video games. I used to be on Mixer and Twitch. And that was fun. And even then, I would get you must be a DJ. No, I'm not a DJ. I did want to be one a long time ago, but I've never been one. But you're listening to Hot 103.9, my free money station. Now, give me my money.
Yes, exactly. You see what I asked?
I get it.
Yeah, he gets that question all the time, man. He's got like you said, he's got the face for radio, right?
Ouch, baby.
All right, we're going to keep it moving to the last community questions here. We sure had a laugh. We had awesome times here. Appreciate the transparency and, well, not only answering all of my questions, but the community questions as well. So, Sadiq, you're going to be the last participant, the last community question today. So you are on the last hot seat. You know how this goes. Better make your questions count. Better make them great ones. Hope you have an awesome day so far. And the floor is all yours. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Ray. As a matter of fact, you got me floating over the moon. And yeah, I must also confess that I've been entertained by Mr. Entertainer and, of course, all of the team members here. It's good talking to you guys. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, of course.
I can hear you. Yeah. But,
awesome.
go ahead.
So yeah, not to take too much of time, and of course, apparently I'm basically on the hot seat here, hot seat. I'm just going to go straight to the point. First off, I must commend you guys for your great work. But so I actually see that you guys call this AI, treasury-driven treasury stuff, right? And so auto union and the likes, isn't it? So hello.
Sadiq, I can. It's my slow Southern ears. I'm having a hard time with your accent, so and it's not your fault by any means. But Rain Lawrence, if you heard that, could you translate that for me, bud?
I think Sadiq, didn't you just start getting into the question? I think that he just mentioned that you have a treasury bot, or did I?
Yeah.
I apologize, my friend.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So, I mean, just to be correct here, before I dive into my question, I see you guys got some sort of AI-driven treasury, isn't it? Like, this automation and the AI stuff, isn't it?
Yes.
Awesome. So, I mean, I just wanted to, state some concern of mine when it comes to, these AIs and automation, and I want to talk about treasure and the likes of it, from other previous projects and likes, right? Of course, some of them do good and some others sometimes do flop. And these things actually have come to observe is the, there is this, lack of transparency sometimes, especially when it comes to, what specific protocols and perimeters, these AI users, your own AI, maybe no we, but me, I'm sort of kind of unclear. When it comes to what sort of protocols and parameters your AI uses, and also when it comes to given the fact that these AIs, and also I think you mentioned that may underperform most times when it comes to volatile markets, and especially if there is no audit or some sort of stress test and the likes of it, right? So I've been kind of wondering, how you guys, or maybe perhaps you could actually enlighten us on how this is actually going to work, because most times if mismanagements like this happen, even if there is no, let's say, smart contract bugs or some sort of like stuff like that, it ends up resulting in some sort of major loss in in the treasury due to these maybe let's say unforeseen event, and considering all these things like stuff like this.
Well, Sadiq, I think you put forward a very honest question, and one that's likely on the minds of a lot of people. I mean, it only makes sense. And that's just like with any company. When you have mismanagement of funds, you have a broken company. I'm just one guy that you've never met telling you that we're good people and we're not out there to screw people over. And you're at the point where you have to either believe us or not. And I know that's a tough decision. And it's one that's based on gut feeling most of the time. And I can appreciate that. But so the term AI driven, it gets thrown around a lot, and it's not always responsible. Let's say that. So I'll try to clear up how we're trying to do some things the best way I know how to. And I'll preface this as well with, to get these 100% specific technical questions, both for you and other folks in here that have asked them. I really do ask that you come in to our Telegram group and ask them there. We'll make sure that we get them properly responded to, because you guys are asking really good questions that I wholeheartedly wish I had 100% of the answer to. But like I said, I'm not the technical guy. That being said, John will be the perfect person to answer that. And by the way, I'll interrupt myself for a second to answer a previous question. The question was, as far as the threshold of payments and how often they get paid out, it'll be every $3,750 worth of volume. So that hopefully we'll get back to that. Now, to answer your question, we're not handing the entire treasury over to some, a black box algorithm and just kind of crossing our fingers. It's not a trading bot that's, on leverage like so many of these other people are throwing in their money from treasuries into leverage bots and hoping that, they just strike one. My understanding is that we're doing the best we can with AI guided frameworks. Previously, if I'm not mistaken, we were going to be using virtuals for the staking optimization tools, but with a little bit of human oversight at the various steps of it. But I don't know the protocol that we're moving to. That's a John question. But I do know that it's not going to be virtuals for various reasons. Again, I can't remember those reasons, but it was virtuals specific. I think they were kind of going more private, raising rates and being a little bit more sketchy, if I could say that. I don't know. If anybody's here from virtuals, I'm not trying to blast virtuals by any means. It's just I don't know enough to talk about that yet. Here I am flapping my lips. But think of the AI as more of like a compass versus a self-driving car. It should help us make those informed decisions faster while still kind of being behind the wheel. But as far as I know, we're finalizing that partnership. And when we have that finalized, I'll let you know. We'll let everybody know through various social posts and whatnot. I hope I answered that question at all remotely close to what you were expecting.
You got unmuted again.
Yeah, so that.
Sadiq, are you here with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you guys. I apologize. I sort of missed up on some of the answers you gave, but I think I do actually catch you correctly. Yeah. So, it is important. So, thank you very much for that clarification. Yeah, even though I didn't catch all of it.
It'll be recorded.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not going to waste your time with that anymore. But yeah, like you said, I'm going to come into the community. So just for my last question, so we save time and the lot. So this is something actually Brain Twister might have actually touched upon, and maybe probably even Apache. So when it comes to your tokenomics, sustainability and the rest of it, seeing that you guys actually publish rewards in USDC, which most people, of course, especially when it comes to global regulatory and stuff, may actually consider as a red flag. And also, you guys trying to pull these on sort of a low market cap stat and the likes of it, which actually might be some sort of turn off for most people, right? And considering the fact that we're talking about regulatories and the like, especially when the project maybe it's not, let's say KYC or some stuff or other stuff like that, right? So it might actually bring a loss of hiccups. And why I'm actually touching upon this is you guys have actually put some sort of things in place as well when it comes to a structure like, early participants, getting some sort of special rewards, which I think, somehow it sort of benefits, the early participant at the expense of those who actually come late. That's first stuff, which might actually be considered as a turn-off. And also, considering the fact that even with all these things, your project is basically going to be running on, the buy and sell, volume. So depending on buy and sell, how it, evolves, that's, the rewards actually, depend on that. So if it goes down, the reward kind of, shrinks. And I actually also, I think Brain Twister, GemPad also mentioned something about, when it comes to, let's say, the token value falls below $50 and the likes of it and stuff like that. So I don't know, probably, maybe you guys might actually want to, it might actually be, difficult to sustain, these rewards, especially you talked about passive incomes, right? So it might be really, really difficult to sustain it with these things because it's just my own personal, should I say, opinion observation, yeah. So I don't want to go on asking this basic question like, what's, plan you guys got for long-term sustainabilities and the rest of it. But I just think, one way or another, given the fact that there is no real or actual utility behind your project, I understand, it's a meme token, but to sustain something like this, especially when it comes to passive rewards, I think then there has to be something really, really formidable, something really strong, like a backup so as to keep the project running afloat over the long term and, considering things like this. Because me personally, coming on with the low funds and then, especially, let's say, being late and then, other people benefiting off me, and then something happens, some sort of declines, and then again I shrink behind, and it kind of gets they give this sort of Ponzi a good project like yours.
Well, Sadiq, first of all, that's a solid and honest question. Various aspects of that. I'll try to do my best to touch on that. But you bring up a lot of points, and some of this we've talked about earlier today. But so the USDC does carry a different perception, I suppose, depending on where you are in the world. Some see it as a stable and trusted coin. Others are cautious because of its centralized nature. But we chose USDC because it's one of the most liquid, widely supported, and reliable stable coins available. And when it comes to delivering the reflections in real time, reliability kind of matters more than just the ideology of it. But on to the sustainability, yeah. So volume is the engine. Volume is key. We all know that. We certainly get that. But what we're building, isn't just meant to be like this pump and dump. That's not at all part of our vision for this. We've been layering in strategies beyond just the trading volume to support the long-term value. So the Fart Agent AI, it puts a portion of every trade into staking strategies that generate yield, those ongoing income, regardless of whether people are buying or selling. So the treasury feeds into our USA ecosystem token, which is a broader ecosystem that's growing in both size and awareness, and that's bringing in external value back into FartAi. And we're also launching, partner airdrop systems, down the road, phased in, but part of the reward dashboard that pulls in new eyes and it pulls in, regular, or rather volume more regularly, I should say. And it helps kind of refresh that cycle, kind of re-kickstart it. But as for utility, look, I mean, it's a meme, but it's a meme with a function. You hold FartAi, you earn USDC. That is a utility. And that loop is powered by both the tokenomics and the external growth, right? So there's this real utility that comes in, which is the passive income with transparent backing, with a meme wrapped or meme wrapper, I should say, that helps it travel further in the current market. That's my thought process on this. But yeah, we're here to build something that just isn't trying to survive that little let's go hype cycle. I mean, let's play through that, and let's try to build something great here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what I actually also mentioned is also you actually did a great job of that question. I mean, you might also want to look at the perspective of this part where let's say for instance, there's some sort of level of high success rate, and everybody actually wants to get that profit. At the end of the day, I'll buy some sort of a minimum of $50 hold my minimum of a $50 token, and then and every other person does that the same. At worst, what is going to happen there is that the market or the chart is just going to remain stable. So I think that's if that. Sorry, I sort of cut off for a moment. Are you guys still with me?
Yeah, still here.
Yeah. All right. So there is no inflow, there is no flow, in the chart. So it's just going to remain stable. So that's why actually, even though it's a meme, like you mentioned, it's going to be a utility meme, but I do actually think it's going to be a really, really great idea for something to actually, be turning. There's some sort of turnover for the market to just keep, it's not just going to be some buy and hold and hoping for the reward, So it's really highly important that there's some all the activities going on so as to keep the chart, flowing, so it's not just dormant, even though the market cap might actually be on a high rate, to sustain rewards for people. But yeah, great job for you guys, and I must say I really appreciate your honest answers, and I'm actually looking forward to you guys doing really, really great on the space in the coming days.
Well, thank you, Sadiq. I appreciate. Again, you've got very solid technical questions that maybe some of the people who are out there, they maybe have the same concerns, but they just don't know how to formulate the question. So I think you've done a good job for the community members that probably have the same question. Because typically when one person has a question, there's many more that have that same question. But I appreciate what you're saying and the positive feedback you're giving as well. Thank you for that.
Perfect, Sadiq. Thank you very much for, well, the last questions here. And without further ado, before we end today's session off, just once again dropping the kind reminder for the referral launch. If you do not want to miss it, it is today at 6 p.m. UTC. So now it's a little bit under 2 hours. So, well, to be exact, 1 hour and 48 minutes. So, yeah, you have the link for the referral launch. Well, the last pinned message currently. And we still forwarded in our main chat. Once again, it was just 1 minute ago. So you have everything available there. For additional questions, do make sure to join your Telegram, as I probably mentioned at least 3 times today. So yeah, do make sure to do so. And Entertainer and Chris, just wanted to say you two, I know that I said this 3 or 4 times as well, but you two have been absolutely phenomenal. I genuinely appreciate the debate here today, and thank you for providing our community members for all the relevant information today. Wishing you the best of luck for the fair launch and, of course, the launch later on as well.
Rainlands, thank you for having us here. This has been an explosive and very, very fun AMA, and one that I feel that you did a great job in keeping going and involving your community. So I appreciate that opportunity, and thank you as well for being our launch pad of choice for this, and really can't wait to see how this really does go. Thank you.
Yeah, as well. Thank you very much, and thanks to your community. I mean, some of those questions were definitely very, very technical. And if Entertainer wasn't here, there was no way I was going to be able to answer some of those. So, but yeah, I mean, for any technical questions or anything like that, by all means, join our Telegram page. We're posting into a private group that we have with John right now about some of your technical questions that you guys had. So we will have answers in the Telegram group for anything we couldn't answer here in this AMA. But thank you for your time, and Rainland's awesome job with the AMA, man. Like you got a lot of energy. I like it.
Thank you very much. You too as well. That has been absolutely fantastic. Because, I kind of feel like that the vibes were definitely at the same level, right? So you two have been fantastic. Again, it was a pleasure to be hosting it. And yeah, you guys heard it firsthand for those answers. If you're still something that you need to know or anything else that you basically didn't get concrete answers on, you're going to get them in your Telegram. So do make sure to join up. Once again, Chris, Entertainer, thank you very much. Best of luck. And we're going to catch you on the next one.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.